Iranian here.
American here.
Iranian American here.
The Shah of Iran was not a dictator.
That is true. It has been proven that leftists use these labels to slander whoever they don't like.
In 1921, Reza Khan, a colonel with no royal claim, takes power in Iran by military coup.
Wrong. In 1921, Reza Khan forces enter Tehran without much resistance. He puts another guy called Ziauddin Tabatabai as the prime minister, and he himself becomes the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, later becoming the minister of war. But the corrupt Shah of Qajar, Ahmad Shah, who destroyed, the Qajar dynasty destroyed Iran to no extent, just like the Islamic Republic has done today. But he remains a powerless and, useless king in power. It takes 3 more years. In 1925, Reza Khan becomes the king or Shah by the vote of the parliament. I know that leftists do not like it, but that's the reality, and they never tell you the truth. But hey, it is the truth.
By 1941, Britain and the Soviets forced him out, installing his son as the new Shah.
Yeah, he forgot to mention that Reza Shah literally rebuilt the whole country, the whole nation, from a completely collapsed and disastrous state to a much more prosperous and modern country in just 16 years. And he did that with the help of German engineers and experts, not because he was in love with German ideology or anything like that, but because he wanted to cut British and Soviet corruption and influence in Iran. So the only other option he had was Germany. But during World War II, he declared Iran as neutral, and he said, we don't have anything to do with this stupid shit. We are just like Switzerland. However, the Allies, the Britain and Soviet, did not respect that. They invaded Iran from north and south and essentially forced Reza Shah out of power, even though before that he expelled a bunch of German experts and engineers who were helping him to rebuild the country. But even then, he acted like a real hero and a great politician or diplomat. He, instead of just leaving or giving up and essentially letting the country to go to chaos, he negotiated with them. Even though they said, we don't want to do anything with you, you have to leave and let the country go. But somehow he succeeded. He was such a great politician. He succeeded to convince them to let his son, who was trained from birth to become the next Shah of Iran, to take control.
By 1953, Iran is governed by an elected parliament and prime minister.
Wrong. Mossadegh was not elected. It's such a cowardly lie about such a historical fact. Mossadegh was nominated by the Shah or the king himself, and the parliament only approved him. It wasn't like Mossadegh was elected. No, the king nominated him, and the Majlis or the parliament approved him. No, we can talk about the details all night long, but this is what truly happened.
The CIA and MI6 overthrow the elected government and restore the Shah to near unchecked power.
That's just a partial truth, because they are telling you just part of the picture. Otherwise, if you look at the history and grasp the whole picture, you would see a whole different story. What CIA did, or what CIA helped to do, was actually stabilize Iran and do what is in the best interest of Iran and Iranian, its people. Otherwise, the country would collapse and fall into chaos, and something such as an Islamic state or a communist state would take power much earlier than it did in 1979, which is why we are not like Afghanistan or Iraq today, thanks to the Pahlavi dynasty. But they don't tell you that. They don't tell you that.
Opposition is jailed, tortured, and killed by Savak until 1979.
That's a lie. They exaggerate this to no extent. What happened during the Pahlavi dynasty is absolutely incomparable to anything that happens during the Islamic Republic or happened before them or happens in any other countries, in the region. Shah, the king, had to do the minimum to keep the country stable and move it forward. Iran was projected to become one of the most prosperous, happy, and advanced modern countries in just a couple more decades. But these leftist idealists who think they live in a childish world where everything is beautiful and pink and unicorns and all of that bullshit, these leftists didn't let him to do his job, which he was doing fantastically. We can look at his track record and the projection of the country. These are numbers. These are not like just opinions. We can look at the numbers. But anyway, leftists made the Islamic Republic happen. It would not happen without the help of leftists like this guy. And he's not even Iranian. Why don't you leave us? Let us build our own country. It's none of your business. Thank you very much, but no thank you. We know your kind and we know your childish ideology. We have learned from our experience. Thank you. Have a good one.